lot of young people. I know a lot of mid-career people or people close to retirement who are a bit frustrated now. Okay, with all the changes, they coming really fast on all of us, right? So the keyword is jobs. Jobs, people still looking, right? How relevant they will be in a short period of time, no matter again, of background almost, right? Even, I don't know, people with technical background now, it's not so easy to place yourself because again, there is some freezing in hiring right now, right, going on. So what's your outlook in kind of economics slash business slash technology nearest future, I would say? What should young people do when they're trying to find like the good way? Start the career.
For sure. So I think that prompt engineering or natural language programming, the ability to converse with AIs is a high leverage skill that you can learn literally by signing up for, Claude, which is Anthropic. That's free still. You can get on the Chat GPT, not Plus, but you can use the regular version and actually ask it how to talk to it. I know that sounds silly, but you could say, what are the core tenets of prompt engineering? Can you please give me some examples of reinforcement learning? Can you help me learn? And that's how I started to get better at ChatGPT. I asked it what to do with it, and then it gave me some examples. And then I said, well, what if I mix this with this? And it oh, good idea. So it's iterative. And I think that while, like we did touch on this briefly, there might be instances where a company that was about to hire a new software engineer doesn't need to anymore because co-piloting technology and AI coding technology is making the existing team productive enough that they don't need to add another head. The good news is, though, I think for every one role that is not being hired because of that, there are 3 whole new companies that are being created. Now, there might be 1 to 3 person companies, but that means you've got a chance at equity, you've got a chance at being creative, you've got a chance at really getting out there and seeing the world, not behind a screen or inside a cubicle, but actually going out there into the business world. So I think net, this whole wave that we're seeing is going to be an incredible wave of job creation. And I think that there might be some structural unemployment, in short pockets, but the line always shifts and quickly new opportunities are created, right? I mean, famously, they back in the day, they would talk about the buggy whips, and they would say, oh, where are those people gonna go who make buggy whips? Well, mechanics are it's a lot more complicated, and it's a lot more high paying than buggy whip manufacturing. So while we lost one, sort of low end manufacturing job, we probably created 300 other higher end mechanical jobs. And I think similarly, AI is going to do the same thing, except perhaps to a much greater extent. So I think net, it's a huge benefit for the economy.
Amazing. Here's my next question. I know you're very active within Python community. All right. So can you give us some idea, because investment banker background is not preparing you for any Python coding. How did you make that leap, and what role you playing now?
I like to think I'm long-term lazy. And so when I'm doing something and I do it again and again and again, and Excel can't do it quite right, or it's requiring too much like additional head bashing, I start to look elsewhere to figure out, is there a way to fix this, or is there a way to do it better? And so I saw that when I was in banker, I was continuously trying to pull Edgar filings, look at the same basic numbers, do the same basic math to it, and then spit out some spreadsheets and hand it off to my managing director. I said, well, why don't I just build a script to just connect it to Edgar and then rip out all the tickers that I want and then run the analysis, exploratory data analysis it's called, run the analysis and then spit it back out automatically. And then I can run it on schedules. And then I could have it, once I know when the 10Q and the quarterly filings and everything are coming out, I could wait a day after, T+1, right? Time +1. And then I could reach into the system again, automatically, and not without any, no work on my part after I set the script up. And then it does what it needs to do. So like I said, I'm long-term lazy. I only learned it because I was trying to free up time for something else. And it was a rabbit hole, because then I realized, man, I could use this for so many things. Like you can, now it's getting kind of easier and easier with Zapier and generative AI to do a lot of these things. But back in the day, there was no real easy way to, look at all of your LinkedIn interactions and do some like basic analysis and try to figure out which of your content was having the biggest hit. Python was useful for me for that. So I just found little projects, and I did them mostly to get better at it for my own interest. And then later on, Rev Systems, the revenue intelligence firm that I started up, we leveraged Python to an extent because we performed exploratory data analysis on behalf of our partners whenever they ask us to take a better look. So yeah, it's a great tool. It's the people pejoratively say that Python is the second best language at everything, and I first of all, what's wrong with that? You know, it sounds like you could do anything if you know the second best language at everything. But I also argue that Python, because of libraries and its modular structure, is really the most powerful language that you could bring with you into the digital world. And if the world really is dissolving into code, ones and zeros, then why wouldn't you want to bring a powerful language with you?